To be named Coach of the Year by the Walter Camp Football Foundation, it requires the respect of your peers. That is, your fellow coaches who vote this award each and every year. Walter Camp, as the father of American football, was a player, a coach, and innovator. He devoted his life to instruction, fair play, and this great American game. Ed Orgeron embodies that same devotion and commitment to the game of football. Coach O joins an illustrious list of great coaches who have won this award, including two former LSU coaches, Les Miles and Jerry Stovall. He has brought his LSU football program to the pinnacle of success. And now, let's not forget, our Coach of the Year just 3 years ago wasn't the top choice or the second choice. He was the third choice. He was behind Jimbo Fisher and Tom Herman. They were the front runners to get that job in Baton Rouge. Ed, the Louisiana kid, he was the right person, though, for this job at LSU. This season, LSU, they won the SEC. It's their first time since 2011. And they beat the stiff competition. How about 5 top 10 wins, including a 13-0 record? And then they got to the playoff, and they made Oregon pay in the Peach Bowl. And then after falling short early on against Clemson, they came back and dominated the defending champs in the second half of New Orleans. If you're around Ed Orgeron, you know one thing. He is a player's coach. And not one of those guys that gives in to his players, but his players fight for him because he loves his players. He cares deeply for each and every one on the roster, and they play for him. They understand him. You know, famously on a recruiting trip with Joe Burrow, Joe comes to town, and he says, we're talking about an Ohio kid, he says, I want some crawfish. Takes him to a restaurant in Louisiana. There's no crawfish at the restaurant. So Ed gets on the phone, calls the owner, and says, I want some crawfish. 15 pounds later of crawfish, they come there, and Joe decides I'm an LSU Tiger. And the rest is history. LSU national champs, Ed Orgeron, the Coach of the Year.
There's a word, a name, from deep in the bayous of South Louisiana that just fits.
Well, bébé is like, it's big baby. It's your big, you know, there's my bébé, my chat, my in Cajun French, my little boy, my bébé. You know, at Northwestern back in those days, I don't know anybody that called him Ed. You know, they called him Bébé. That was his name.
There's a laugh that only someone who knows you from the inside out can share. 4 years at Northwestern with Bébé.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
I mean, you know, you got to be rough and tough to play down there in the trenches like he did all the time. And, you know, being from cut-off Louisiana.
He was rough and tough on the field, sometimes off the field.
Well, I was the only one there that could understand what they were saying, you know.
J.P. Dunbar was a fellow Cajun, one of the few who could understand Bébé's pregame pep talks.
You got to play with some enthusiasm out there tonight. Everything we do, we got to be enthusiastic about it. We got to beat their behinds. We got to go play some ball now. Get fired up. Everybody bang something up in here, Heath. Hey, let's go.
Very pleased with our win over Mississippi State.
And I got to hear him say, Butch, let's go eat something. Come on. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Pleased with the work ethic of our coaches.
People asked me today, was he hard to understand then like he is now? I said, that was worse. I said, he's pretty refined now.
We're coming.
We would call anybody north of I-10 redneck.
We're coming.
All right, so because we were coonasses from down south.
And we ain't backing down.
Everything that he ever did, whether it was good or bad, he did it 100%. He was in, and if he knew you and you were one of his buddies, he had you back.
His mom worked for Beans, you know, measly little salary, his dad, and he knows what it is to be raised with nothing. He also knows what to be raised with love.
Coach O always wanted to be a coach, and they never doubted him.
The time I quit in the second year, I could see he was going to be great. He'll take players in, feed them, bring them to their house, his players, and take care of them. They've become close. And his big thing is like a family, and his team is his family.
Had a little kid up in his office that was in a wheelchair, and he's got a jersey for him, and he's wheeling him around, and he's inviting him to practice, and he's enthusiastic about everything he's doing, and he's sincere about it. It's not fake. He's not putting that on. It's him. It's who he is. He's got a big heart, and he cares about people. He loves life. He loves what he's doing.
Most everybody calls him Coach O now, but to them, he will always be Bebe. Like the bayous of his beloved Louisiana, some things run deep.
Bebe's not here tonight. Monday night, while he was celebrating the national championship, a handful of people asked him, "How are you going to celebrate?" And he said, "I'm going to go home and have a ham sandwich." So he stayed true to his word. He has always been an original from Louisiana. And right now, they are celebrating in Baton Rouge. It's been a whirlwind of a week for LSU. Got a quick invite after winning the national championship to go to Washington, D.C. and celebrate with the president and have a party inside the White House the last couple of days. And tonight, they're celebrating in Baton Rouge. So, unfortunately, Coach Orgeron could not be here tonight to accept the 2019 Walter Camp Coach of the Year award, but he did send us this message.
On behalf of our coaching staff and our two members football team, the Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers, I want to thank the Walter Camp Football Foundation for naming us Coach of the Year. Walter Camp was the father of football. He did so many things for our game today. I'd love for him to see the way the game is played today and what he started. Thank you on behalf of our football staff. We're very much appreciative of this award. Go Tigers.
We will carry his spirit tonight. No crawfish on the menu, but we will carry Bebe's spirit and a celebration for LSU in Baton Rouge.